All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Dr. Melody Rodarte. I am a physician in the Phoenix area. I have a practice. My main focus is weight loss medicine. Fancy word is obesity medicine. I'm an internist at heart. I have always loved to help people live their best life, to optimize their health, to activate their health. And so on my journey, that was something through med school and residency I felt was very important, was figuring out how the body could function and giving back its function. And nowadays we call it root cause medicine as well. So trying to find the root of why dysfunction has happened and seeing if we can reverse what is going on, and to set forth being just healthy again, giving the cells its ability to function. So with that, I'm going to just really jump into some of the slides. I'm going to try not to be super wordy as well, because I want it to be super simple that you can share this with others, and and continue this conversation. So this is my main thing. We want to take control of our health. We want to activate our health and slow down the aging process. And this is a pretty bold statement. I've been saying this a lot to my patients. Food can be medicine or food can be poison. Diet is the most important influencer of the gut. And we are really realizing this. I don't know how many people decided to go travel to Europe this year and would tell me that they could eat whatever they wanted. And when they came back to the United States, they really felt ill. There is something to be said about that. But food can be medicine or food can be poison. And so the company products that I really want to just discuss tonight, a few of them are by a company named LifeVantage, and we are considered the activation company. In full disclosure, I do sit on their medical advisory board. It is not a paid position, and I absolutely love that I get to be on this board, because I get to teach and train others that necessarily would not get to be in my practice, and really spread the word of how to activate your body, how to activate your cell. And truly, it is a forward-thinking company here. So with that, the main way that they are able to do this is through nutrigenomics. So using nutrition to help your gene signaling. So we're using it for cellular signaling and gene activation. So many of us think the genes that we are born with, we are stuck with. And I will say, yes, you really can't change your genes, but you can change the way they are expressed. So up to 95% of your genes, you have the ability to help them turn on and turn off. In the past, we did not know this. We thought, if my dad had diabetes, I'm going to have diabetes. If so-and-so had cancer, I'm going to have cancer. That is not the case. You only don't really have control over 5%. So hopefully a couple of those things are resonating. I sometimes will repeat those things as we go, like food is medicine, like you can turn on and off your genes. These are really key points I want you to take away from tonight. So the main reason you probably jumped on this webinar is you knew we were going to talk about GLP-1. And the biggest thing that people know is food noise. On the right-hand side, it's like all your good stuff, your healthy fats, your vegetables, your proteins. And a lot of times we don't think of those things first. We think of the things on the left-hand side, which are like your fast foods, your sweets, your salty carbohydrates. And guess what? The food industry wants you to think about those items. They have biochemists that are truly trying to make flavors that you can't get in nature, and it triggers a part of your brain that wants it. So this is kind of called food noise. In my world, in the obesity medicine world, a lot, we go back to even genetics, where I will have patients who will tell me, I never feel full. I had to learn as a small child when to stop eating because I didn't feel that feeling of fullness. So I didn't want to be embarrassed, and I would watch how much my mom ate or how much my dad ate. So there's a plethora of ideas and discussion that we could have here, but I thought that this was just a little great slide to get you thinking about this, because you might know somebody that has said that to you, like, when do you feel full? And or you might be like someone who's like, oh my gosh, thank God I have the ability to know when I'm full. My stomach receptors work and they tell me that I'm full. So I'm all about anatomy, if you know me. And so from your mouth all the way to your bottom, you have this tube, and it's called your microgut. Your microbiome is really the middle part too, as well. And so you have all types of cells and microorganisms in there, and they help you do so many things like digest your food and make you know that there's a pathogen there, meaning like an imposter needs to tell you to go fight this. It helps with absorbing our nutrients, digesting our food, converting our nutrients like our B vitamins. There's so many things that are important here. And so what I did was I took a little snapshot of your lower intestine here, and these are the main cells that we are going to be talking about. And you want them to be, if you look in the middle, that tight junction, you want them all to be super tight. You don't want things going through those cells or between those cells into that blood that you're seeing in the middle right there. So when that is breached, you can feel foggy brained, you can get sick, you are more likely to have inflammation and autoimmune conditions, you're more likely to not absorb, the list goes on. So when this also happens, you're more likely to gain weight, you're more likely to have issues with food. And so the next part I want to really talk about is a specific cell called the L cell. That's where GLP-1 is produced. So this is the craze. This is the main reason why you logged on, but for sure, I needed to give you some history, some anatomy, so you know what I'm talking about here. So the L cell is in that lower intestine, and it is producing a hormone called GLP-1. So we naturally produce GLP-1. It helps regulate our appetite. It helps regulate our blood sugar. It helps us feel full. And the really important part is this glucose homeostasis. I'll even show you more actions that GLP-1 can do in just a minute. But the neat part is this system, if you kind of remember the first graph that I showed you and this, there is a vagus nerve that starts from your brain and goes all the way to your gut. And there are peptides that will, not only the GLP-1 system hormone, there are other peptides that are going to go up and down this system to say that you're full, that you're not thinking about food. They'll help you control what you're grabbing for food, like cravings as well. So those are like PYY and PPY. You'll see those written there on the left-hand side. So we want to promote a healthy gut-brain axis. Some of you may have heard about this before as well. And so there it goes. So what are some natural ways that we can increase GLP-1? Well, having a healthy lifestyle, like sleep and reduce our stress. How about increasing fiber in our diets? Those can be called prebiotics and prebiotic fibers. You might have heard that. Healthy fats help you as well. Probiotics. So I think that's all the craze right now are probiotics. And you'll see them probably if your phone is anywhere near you right now or you're watching, you'll probably notice that a lot will be popping up in your news feed. And of course, protein. These are all ways that we can naturally increase GLP-1. How else can we do it? Well, we can take a medication. There's synthetic medications, and those have been all the craze. I can talk a long time about this. As I told you, I'm a weight loss specialist, and they are important. They've been around for over 10 years, 15 years, but the last 4 years, really a new way of increasing GLP-1 has become very fruitful in the manner of being very effective. Unfortunately, they can have unpleasant side effects, and sometimes we just don't want to take a medication anymore. They can be expensive as well. And so there's a time and place for the synthetic GLP-1s. They have been a blessing to many people, but in the same sentence, they've been horrendous for other people. So I love that we have the ability to choose. And so tonight, I want you to know that there are other activators out there. They are ones that can do support of the system, but there are no clinical studies showing that they increase GLP-1 specifically. And so that is where we come into play at LifeVantage. we have a system called the mind body GLP-1 system, where you're taking this to actually make GLP-1. We are activating the system. We are first to market. We are patent pending on this. And so we are increasing GLP-1 by an average of 140% as it's balancing our hunger hormones. And so, excuse me, the benefits of taking this product are the same benefits you would see with GLP-1 itself. You are going to have sustainable weight loss and wellness that you can see and feel. You're balancing the hunger hormones. You're helping that gut-brain axis. You're quieting food noise. And the biggest thing that I love about this is maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Those of you who have never worn a blood glucose monitor, they're called CGMs. I would highly recommend, you don't have to have a prescription for some of them. I would highly recommend one of them. It's interesting to see what food can do to your blood sugar and how you can equate how you're feeling with what your blood sugar is doing. And adding a product such as this, you can see how your body responds and is wanting to stay in the normal ranges more often. So earlier I mentioned that GLP-1 is more than just glucose homeostasis. You can see all of the organ systems here and the effect that GLP-1 has on it. And like for me, a lot of people say, Melody, you're not overweight. Why would you even think about a GLP-1? And I love to point to the pancreas there that you can see to your upper left. In my family, we end up having insulin resistance very young, actually, and then diabetes older, where we are normal weight, we're very active. And I think it's because of the beta cells, which make insulin. I think they start to die off early in our family. So I'm looking at this going, what can I do with my blood sugar? Can this help reduce beta cell apoptosis or the dying of those cells? So what I want you to look on here is kind of just look and see at each, organ system, what it is doing. And it's just amazing. It's more than just weight loss. So you can do micro dosing, you can do smaller doses to get the effects and have that, encourage that longevity factor that GLP-1 can do. So another quick slide here on what GLP-1 can help with is help with slowing down that gastric emptying. That's how you feel full, taking down that food noise, so you're less likely to snack between meals, as well as feel full and you're not going to continue eating. That natriuresis and diuresis, those are fancy words for like swelling. So many people, when we start this, say they just don't feel as puffy. Their shoes are fitting better, or by the end of the night, they're just not puffy. They don't have the ring around their ankle. So that's the fancy word there, natriuresis and diuresis. Then this is even more important, the cardio and neuroprotective events, right? So as we grow older, we don't want to have heart issues. We don't want to have brain issues. And so that GLP-1 system is helping there, being protective, and we're reducing inflammation. And so that was my key point I liked to put in there for those of you who are like, what's happening to my pancreas? Guess what? When you do this, you're helping the pancreatic cells. And so there's dual activation here. MB Core is the name of the capsules. You start with one capsule and you take it for 2 weeks, and then you can go up to 2 capsules, and it is directly activating GLP-1 in those L cells. Then there's a powder that goes along with it. It's called MB Enhance. You start off with 2 scoops of this powder. It has like a little bit of a vanilla flavor, and it is indirectly increasing GLP-1 by optimizing your gut microbiome. So if you remember the picture, you had your L cell, you had your microbiome. We are hitting it in 2 different areas to activate the release of GLP-1. And then what we're doing is we're amplifying the genes that help keep GLP-1 activated. So I'll show you those genes on this slide, in actually 2 slides. So here are the ingredients for the core, and you have probably heard some of these. I think the most common 2 on the market right now are the lemon bioflavonoids and the berberine. These have separate research on them, but what we've been able to do is patent the blend to show that we are activating GLP-1 release. Chromium has been really popular because that helps dampen that desire for food. The enhance, the major things here are helping your microbiome, as I recommended and stated. So a lot of fiber. Most of us as Americans, we have maybe 3 to 4 grams of fiber a day. You're going to be getting 12 to 13 grams when you're using the enhance. So fiber helps digestion. It helps you feel full. It actually feeds your probiotics so that they function normally. And so this was the first study that we did. It was an in vitro study looking at the release and the expression of GLP-1. And what we noticed in these cells is, you can look from the picture on the left to the right, we increased by 54% the production of GLP-1. When that was seen, we thought to ourselves, okay, we need to do a human study. And so a human study then went underway. This is still the cell study. I'm going to just go to this right here and I'll go back. With the human study, then what we were able to see was an average of 9 pounds of weight loss in 8 weeks and up to 25 pounds in 12 weeks. That's incredible, because when you're doing this naturally, we want about 1 pound to 2 pounds of weight loss a week. That is a safe and effective way. That's what most people do. Can you lose more? Yes, especially if you are someone who is more overweight. Can you lose less? Yes, some of us don't need to lose 25 pounds. So again, this is going to be just on average on the group that was studied. So let me go back to the cellular study. So we knew that we increased GLP-1, and then we also knew that we were helping the activation of the genes. And so you can see here the types of genes that were tested and what we saw. Those of you who are on medicine, you're going to really appreciate the bottom right, the decrease in the DPP4 gene expression. Those of you in medicine know that there's a drug that does this. And so how wonderful that we're able to do this without using a medication. And then the 2 neuroendocrine peptides that I was mentioning on that other slide, PYY and PPY, we were shown to increase this. So that's that gut-brain axis. That's why we're having a lot of people just tell us that they feel less brain fog, they feel more clarity. That gut-brain axis tells us how we feel after eating. So pictures are just really amazing. There were some people who were allowed to go on this product early. And so I've got a few, I took out a few pictures here. You can always get back to the person who invited you and look at more pictures. But I love the picture on the right here with Shauna. The important thing here with Shauna is she continued on this, and she was someone who is doing everything correctly and having such a hard time with weight loss. And she saw a little bit, like you noticed in the first 2 weeks, but by week 12 that she's been able to be on it, she is down that 25 pounds now. And the transformation is just so wonderful for her. I want you to hear her story. I have some recordings of that. If you want that, you can always just get back to me to learn more about her journey. But it's just amazing. Everybody has, can have it happen quickly. Angie was someone who was already working on her body and her diet and her exercise. So this just came into play and really helped her on her journey. Those who you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have a great diet yet. I don't have a good exercise routine yet. Well, then we're going to really be working on getting this together with you so that you can have results. But I'm a realist. You may or may not have results in the first 4 weeks, and we're going to continue this. We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of this overnight. I always love to tell my patients that. So here's another picture. I just love to see how tight her shirt is. Heather is another great person just to kind of sit and pick her brain on how she has done through this. So those of you who know some of my story, I love doing preventative medicine. And what I love is we know now there's a link with NRF2. This is the one thing that I talk about till the cows come home, and GLP-1. So GLP-1 and NRF2 actually can synergize and help each other. And so this was a great article that we found that we were able to kind of really dive into. So those of you who have not heard of NRF2 or the NRF2 pathway, we would take this blend, so it's ashwagandha, bacopa, milk thistle, green tea, and turmeric, to make our own antioxidants. So our bodies make antioxidants. And so what you want to do with antioxidants are to reduce oxidative stress. That is what truly causes aging and what causes cellular issues. And so we want to help crank it up, like produce more antioxidants so that we can go in and repair those cells and fight the signs of aging at the source. And so when you eat blueberries, yes, you are taking an antioxidant, or like a vitamin C. You're neutralizing just 1-to-1, one free radical at a time. When you are activating it through the NRF2 pathway, you're neutralizing more than 1 million free radicals at a time. There's the difference there. And then we do have a healthy collagen. We can take what's called the Healthy Glow Essentials to make antioxidants and collagen. So how many of us are on collagen, right? We take it. Those of us who are losing weight, we really love to take collagen because we're trying to fight sagging, skin. We want our skin to stay nice and tight. Those of us who are aging, we really love collagen because we're trying to fight the signs of aging. But collagen is part of all of our cells. It's not just for your skin, hair, and nails. It's very helpful for your gut lining, for your heart, all your organ systems. So life is hard on our body. We're trying to fight the signs of stress and stay balanced. And so collagen is really a balancer of our cell structure. So you can take NRF2 and collagen in order to really help this process here. And as you lose weight, it's really wonderful because as you lose weight, think about what's in your gut and that fat. You're going to be releasing things, and you want to be able to have the antioxidants on board to help with phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification that's happening inside your liver. And then you want the rest of your cells to be also on that healthy journey. So it's a great combination to do. Those of you who are trying to get on the GLP-1 and it's back ordered, well, this is a way that you can get started, and you can add this to the regimen as well, which is our fat burn. Our fat burn is, we take it, the ingredient in it is called sinatrol, because what we're trying to do is make more brown fat, and brown fat is actually active fat. It helps burn more calories. It increases your metabolism. So you are burning 181 more calories without doing anything at all when you take this. So it's a way that you can combine and get ready. You can use this while you're on our GLP-1 system, and you can use this in order to prepare to take the GLP-1 system. So with that, I kind of just wanted to bring it a little bit to a close here. Whoever invited you to this webinar, I want you to get back to them and let them know, one, what sparked your interest, two, what products might work great for you, and three, if you are wanting to share this with other people, I would say talking about GLP-1 has been one of the easiest things to talk about. Social media and influencers have made it really incredibly easy. Unfortunately, they're not always talking about the right way of doing it. And so we are all about education. We are all about sharing knowledge and the gift of health. And so we can share with you a shopping cart on how to purchase these products and how to implement them in your health journey, as well as if you're someone like me who finds something and absolutely loves sharing, we can show you how to do that as well. But with that, I'm going to close it because I'm going to be able to take some questions here and be able to answer more specifically. So thank you for joining us. I know I was top share there.